Hello, soul family. How are you guys doing?
Hi guys.
It's so wonderful to connect again. It's a beautiful day. We're back in Toronto, back home, sweet home. And man, it has been a few weeks of magical revelations, crazy downloads, crazy visions, crazy, just very exciting. So exciting that it feels really, really, really crazy. So we just wanted to connect with you. This is super impromptu. We are going to start off with Siman giving us an update on the Lionsgate portal that's coming up. There's a huge portal wide open and how we can benefit from this, a little bit of background on the downloads he has specifically received from the guardians of this Lionsgate. We're then going to go into a little bit about timelines because that seems to be the most urgent, the most important message from Spirit right now. It's coming in so many different ways that it seems like that is what our guides want us to focus on, to really focus our attention on. So we're going to talk a little bit about timelines and tie that in a little bit to the Starseed contract, into Starseeds, why are we here at this time? And more importantly, how can we help at this time? There's certain information that I want to share with you specifically around our roles during this very important time. We're also going to, and then I just have a personal story that I want to share with you today, which is so profound. So we'll end with that story because that story also has a lot of hidden meaning and downloads. And one of the things I want to say to you guys is, it is so powerful, the level of downloads and psychic abilities that all of us walking this path, the level of downloads and the expansion of our psychic abilities, like even since the activation, I'm telling you guys, I'm talking about the recent activation, what do we call it? The Soul Star.
The Soul Star in Galactic Gateway.
Right? And it was from the Alcyone Council. Since then, my premonitions and my psychic abilities are just blowing up. Like
She's not kidding.
I'm seeing stuff like I'm a psychic, full-on psychic. I'm receiving the most bizarre. When I tell him, we're thinking, what is that? Like, that's so bizarre. And the next day that comes true. It happened even with
She's been seeing visions back to back, and it's like amazing me. I feel like I'm living next to an oracle.
Well, and it helps because in our relationship, this is very new for me. He's been a downloader, he's been a channeler, he's been getting all these crazy visions and downloads for a lot of time. But what I'm noticing for me is this is just starting to happen at this level. I've always been psychic. I've always had all these abilities. But for the past year, it has been very enhanced. And specifically for the last 2 weeks, you guys, it has really been enhanced since that activation we all received. So I really want all of us to recalibrate and refocus on the magical time at hand and the gifts and abilities that lie within us. Sometimes we're so bogged down by this earthly realm and, like just cooking for our kids and caring for our families that we forget how magnificent we are. So I really wanted to touch on that. So there's a lot going on in this video, but I think let's start off with the Lionsgate update and then we'll lead to the other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So recently we held a sacred ceremony, a spiritual ceremony where we do a vision quest. And Eldora and I both participated. It was a private ceremony when we were in Mont-Tremblant. And during that vision, I think in our first video, like 2 videos ago, Eldora mentioned some of the healing that she went through. But I wanted to take this chance to share some exciting updates that I actually saw in that vision quest. And I had the opportunity to meet with Adonai Ashtar Sharan. And he was presented to me in this very intense, as if I'm looking at a star from a distance. And he was he was presented to me as an 8th dimensional entity, as a very, very powerful entity. And this intensely loving, caring father energy was coming through. And in addition to that, I also connected with the lion tribes of the Sirius star system. And they were shown to me in the same vision. It was not really a vision. It was as if they were in the same room as me. And I connect very deeply with this Sirius star system. I believe a lot of my galactic lineage comes from Sirius. I myself am a starseed from the Antares star system. And if anyone is curious to know how to find out your home star system, some people have asked me. There is a very good contact I have for galactic astrology readings, so you can find out your own home star systems as well. So I connect deeply with the Syrian star system. There are the Sirius people are very advanced healers. They're from a galaxy which has already completed their cycles of evolution. So they came into our universe in order to assist us with our evolution. The Syrians are the race that initiated the Pleiadians. They're that ancient. If any of you people tuning into this message, if you know who the Pleiadians are and how ancient and how magnificent they are, the Pleiadians too were like us at one point, where humanity is, where we were. The Pleiadians were also a war-torn civilization before they evolved into love and peace. And the Syrians are the ones who held their hand at that crucial period. So the Syrians are kind of like our galactic grandfathers. They're master healers, and they present themselves with this lion energy. So they present themselves as humanoid lions.
That's how I look at you.
Yeah, I feel,
Honestly,
I feel like
master
Harry.
healer. He's the most humble healer I've ever met, you guys. And I'm not saying this just because he's my partner. I know he gets embarrassed when I start off my talk about his healing, but he's the most powerful. Like, the energy of healing that comes through him is crazy. And his highest passion is to let everyone know that they can be, like, he always says to me, I don't want to be a crutch and be someone else's healer. I want to empower people and teach them how to be
And recently,
healers. So
recently Eldora has also been activating her healing powers very potently, and that's something we'll share in another
That's
video.
actually
Very
to
exciting
go off
stuff
for 1
happening.
second on that tangent.
Yeah.
I have always said to Spirit that I don't want to be a one-on-one healer. It's just something I've never enjoyed. So 5 years ago, when Siman's, we'll make another video about how was healing even activated. It was when we were dating,
Oh my
and
God.
I was, believe it or
That's a
not,
crazy story,
overdosing,
you
and
guys.
he saved me because all of a sudden his freaking healing powers came on. And in those days, I didn't even believe in Reiki, so that's a different story.
Yeah.
But I've always said I don't want to be a healer. It's just something that I don't enjoy. I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy this life. It comes naturally to me. But since the activation, my healing powers have just
Yeah,
amplified.
and I'm sure a lot of you people can relate because we're all getting our healing powers activated. We're getting more psychic than ever before. So we can use these powers. We can channel these powers to heal our traumas and those of our families and friends who are open to energy work. So the Syrians are the ones who connected with me and originally taught me a lot of what I know today. And they still connect with me, and I download a lot of information from them. And so they are master healers, and they present themselves as a lion tribe. They're very tribal people. If you look at lions, you most likely would have seen them in a safari environment, unfortunately, on Earth. But they are a family-oriented group. They're very tribal. They're very unified in their harmony of their family dynamics. And they have these they exude a warrior-like aura, and very strong, but they're not threatening at all. They're very, very gentle beings. And
you're talking about the Syrians or the lion tribe?
The Syrians, I'm sure within Sirius star system there are many different species, but I'm speaking specifically about the lion tribes of the Sirius star system, because these are the ancient beings that connect with us during the Lion's Gate portal. And I wanted to tell you more about the Lion's Gate portal. So on August 8th, our sun comes in conjunction with the constellation Leo. And during this phase, we connect with the Sirius star system, and a six-dimensional portal is opened up to planet Earth, where we receive energies directly from the royal lion tribes of Sirius and the Regulus star system, which is a neighboring star system. So these highly advanced beings are sending us geometric codes from the sixth dimension, and these geometric codes end up creating the timelines that Earth is going to be exploring. So if you look at Earth from a higher galactic perspective, you can see that we go through phases of our evolution in 2,500 year span lifetimes.
25 or 25,000?
So the smaller cycle, like the age of Pisces, is going to be 2,500 years.
Right.
And all 12 of them, when they combine, they form a cycle of 5,000 years.
26,000 years.
Yeah, something to that effect. So basically, we're now just completing the age of Pisces and going into the age of Aquarius. So this is a very crucial time, because when two ages kind of like merge and there's one age passing off into another, this is a time when things speed up exponentially. And the time is being sped up. The timelines that are being created, they're all converging. So
And not only just meeting and converging, also want to add that they each age brings its own energy.
Exactly.
So what was the age of Pisces? What was the energy of
Age
the age
of
of
Pisces was all about ego and war.
Correct.
And learning through separation.
And harming the children, slaughtering the
Exactly.
animals, pain,
So that
war,
was all
suffering.
that we saw in the third dimension. And now we've decided as a collective that we're done. We've learned all that we can from this negative energy of duality, and we want to go back to our oneness. We want to go back to our source, to God. And those are the beautiful, beautiful, harmonious timelines that are now being created for planet Earth.
And tying back into how it's so perfectly synchronized with the energy of the age of Aquarius. You see how the age of Pisces was there. It served a purpose for us. It served a purpose for us to play out our games of war, our games of pain, our games of suffering, our games of inflicting pain on others. And now we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which has a totally different energy signature.
Exactly.
So the planet can't help but adapt to that. The humanity can't help but adapt to that frequency, because that's just the age we're moving into. The age of Aquarius has the energies of, as you were saying, harmony,
heaven on earth, basically, where we all unite as one single human family, and we all learn through love, we all learn through harmony, and we all learn how to get back in balance with nature. We've not been in balance with nature at all in the past. We've been left brain oriented, ego oriented. So our right brain hemisphere, our intuition, our love, our unity, our seeing abilities, our feeling abilities, psychic abilities, all of these are in our right brain, and these are all now coming online. So you may ask, why is Lionsgate significant to me? So just how we have New Year's Eve, which is the Georgian calendar, the regular December 31st, which was like just chosen, although it does not have the significance of New Year. From a galactic perspective, August 8th has the significance of a New Year in terms of the galactic energy, because this is where all the old timelines of the past year are pretty much come to a close, and the new timelines are created for the next year.
And it's also the galactic New Year, right? The
Yeah.
26th.
Yeah, I believe so.
So the 26th of July-ish, if I remember right, is the galactic New Year.
26th of July is the galactic New Year. That's when these portals of the Lion Gate and the Leo constellation start opening up to Earth. And from here, we enter into a new energy. So whatever you've done in the past year may be coming up for review right now. You may be seeing a lot of flashbacks. You may be seeing all old memories. You may be seeing things playing out in your mind of like friendships that have broken apart, or family members that have drifted away.
Old relationships resurfacing,
Yeah.
either physically or even mentally.
Yeah.
These are all just being cycled out, recycled out of your subconscious mind.
Yeah, so
That's how
this
I
is
look
a
at it.
period of review, and it's reflected to us in our life as well. We've been seeing flashbacks of everything that has transpired in the last year. And also, this is a very potent time of creation of the new timelines. So this is where we begin to sow the seeds for the next year, for what we wish to manifest. And it is very important for us to remember that whatever seeds we sow right now, it's going to take time, but within the next few months, within 6 months or so, you'll start seeing these changes visually. You'll start seeing things manifest in their life. And the way the universe works is it always gives you a preview first of what you wish to manifest, and then it gives you, it presents it to you as a question like, this is about to manifest, this is what you're about to get. Are you sure you still want this? And at that point, for example, it may be a new relationship that you started and everything's going great for 6 months and you're like on cloud 9, but then suddenly your egos show up and you start seeing each other's behaviors and bad habits, and you start getting into under each other's skin, and that's when the real test of the relationship comes in, and that's where most people quit. But it is important for us to always remember that this is the time that we want to really dig deep and ask ourselves, is this what I really want? Or is this something I would like to change or maybe modify in my manifestation? So that's something Eldora and I have been doing in the past few days with this Lionsgate portal, just visualizing where we want to be, what we want to bring into our life, how we want to connect with our soul family.
And it's actually, I want to just add, it's not so much visualizing. What I find different about the energy right now, the visualizations, the intention setting, that's all in the past. The energies for the last 2 weeks, specifically since that activation. Literally, we posted the activation, I think, on the 13th, if I remember, of July. 14th, we left for Montreal. That was the day of our car accident. That's when we were shifted into a new timeline. Guys, it's crazy how this is happening. You know how, what is that Noah's Ark, that boat that just goes off?
Yeah.
Like, you know how Noah's Ark, it's this big, what's the word? It's this big mystery. That's actually how it felt. Our car went through, it was like a timeline warp.
Yeah, it's as if we walked through a portal.
It felt so, and if we were not this aware, we wouldn't even have known. We would have been like, oh my God, what did we do to deserve this? Oh my God. This is the biggest celebration, because since that, what I'm noticing is it's not really sitting and visualizing right now. Right now, we're seeing all our visualizations being shown to us for the first time, and it's so freaking exciting, you guys, because I want to share with you, this is brand new, this is something personal that we wanted to share with our soul family. So just going back, the car crash happened. After that, we went to Mont Tremblant, which is a very healing nature space, and we did a lot of healing with all our, broken relationships, all our what do you need, babe?
I just want to close this off to the air.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll keep going. Where was I? Yeah, so to back up, the car crash happened. That was stage 1. So the activation happened. The very next day, the car crash happened. And then we went and did the private plant medicine ceremony, the two of us. And in that ceremony, all the healing came up, the tears, the trauma, the crying. Because the crying, you guys have to understand, is everything that we've been through that we haven't sat down and given the time to properly process. So we went through deep healing, all the friends, all the friendships that have been broken, and all the hurt. And I've been through so much in the last 5 years, all of that came up, okay? That was stage 2 of the activation. Then stage 3 was us going to Montreal and Quebec City and just healing the trauma from our nervous system. So much healing. We literally would just sleep all day, go and sit in nature all day, and we literally felt the trauma, the healing go through. We didn't have to do anything except keep ourselves in a very calm place, away from the city, away from all this pollution. That's why we went away. And then stage 4, you guys, is the most fun part, which we're in right now. So stage 4 is what he was talking about, but I have a slightly different spin on it. Stage 4 is us being presented by the universe. Our guides are literally presenting to us, saying, all right, Siman and Eldora, this is where we are right now. There's no spoken words. It's all happening telepathically. This is where we are right now. You guys have mastered, you've proven mastery in these areas of your life. You have definitely fast forwarded through your journey and your years ahead. So now, guess what? Even though we thought that you had to live in this home in Toronto for another year, because when we got this home, they said it's a 3-year time. Now they're saying you guys are ahead of schedule. So you know what? Something's opening up, and this is brand new, you guys. It literally was shown to us yesterday, I think, or day before. It was shown to us that now, if you want, by September 1st or so, go to Costa Rica and just have a look at the properties there. Have a look at the real estate there. And we're like, what? Like, that's huge. We're being shown that whatever our vibration has manifested, so vibrationally, whatever we've been sending out for the last year has now manifested physically, and we're being shown that the first offer, the first presentation, the first glimpse that the universe is showing us is going to be in Costa Rica. And we have an option to whether to say yes or no, but we have to go there physically, because timelines are just presented to you. You are the one who has to walk through them. Exactly. So if you're in a crappy marriage and you're saying, oh, the timeline will change, you have to take action.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Costa Rica, and then, so this is huge. We're like, I was shivering last night when I went to bed, because I was like dreading being stuck in this home for another year, and then also being under mastery, because that's the thing about the Ascension path. Even if you hate it, you just have to act, you have to be a master, and like master your emotions and your thoughts, even when you live in a freaking dense neighborhood. And I don't enjoy that at all. I am good at it, but I don't enjoy it. So that's where we are. Like,
and she's been so giddy since last night, since we were shown the vision of Costa Rica.
I want to get out of Canada.
We literally started like Googling and on YouTube looking up places in Costa Rica and how they're so beautiful. It's like everything we could possibly imagine. We wanted a villa on a beach with like lush vegetation surrounding us. And we're seeing all of the visions that we've been sending out into the universe this past year, or past few years actually, are now coming up and being presented to us as an option. And it's happening way quicker than we could possibly imagine.
And how crazy that it's happening telepathically.
Yeah.
To a normal person, they might be going, what's the fuss about? Why is Eldora? Why are they so happy? Because we're being shown the timeline that's waiting for us, and we have an option whether to say yes or no.
And it's
crazy.
Also, we tune into the frequency of joy and excitement when we're shown a vision, and our excitement is just through the roof when we're being shown this vision. So it seems like in harmony with our soul's path.
And everything's clicking to make this timeline align. Like my guys are literally saying, your Audi had another 3.5 years because we got a 4-year lease. Even though we both are not slave to a mortgage payment, or we're not slave to a lease payment, we don't let that hold us back. Like if we had to go to Costa Rica, we would just transfer the lease or whatever and pay a penalty. But our guides are saying when your timelines are meant to activate, the whole universe will rearrange itself. And this has happened to us many times. But this is the first time I feel we're catching the timeline before it even happens and sharing it with you guys. Because usually we'll get the premonition, or we doubt the premonition. We say, I don't know, wow, they're telling us we're going to be YouTubers. And we're like, what, YouTubers? And then it happens. So now we're in that second phase where we're being shown that we're going to leave Canada and take inventory of everything here, and we're just excitedly waiting for it to happen.
And it usually takes the human mind a little bit of time to catch up to the vision that is being shown to you by your higher self, because initially it doesn't add up, it doesn't seem logical. But when you start paying attention to it, when you start visualizing yourself in that timeline, and you feel the joy and excitement, that's when your human mind catches up and says, wow, this is exactly what I had asked for. And time after time, our higher self has proven this true, and this is important, that whatever we wish to manifest, the actual result that's delivered to us is way better than we could have comprehended. So that's always a constant. Whatever your highest self wishes for you is going to be usually better than your mind can even comprehend.
Yes, and that's why they say don't visualize. This is a very important tip of manifestation. They say we've been shown this, and we're actually really good at this. We don't ever imagine that we will be stuck in Costa Rica or in Hawaii. We just open it up to how we want to feel. So we've always said we want to feel a certain way. So always focus on the feeling. And this is really the biggest tip on, like, people charge thousands and thousands of dollars to teach these basic fundamentals. And half of these teachers haven't learned it themselves. You have to go through this mastery. You can't learn it in a book. But keeping yourself in a feel-good state, in a state of joy, and always doing your visualization not in the sense of this is how much money I want, but doing it in the sense of, oh my God, I want to feel so good as I drive down the Swiss Alps in my convertible car, like whatever it is for you. Or when I walk in my backyard and there's a warm ocean waiting for me to just hold me. It's like having these feeling sensors activate within you, which is what will help you get it closer. So just to seal this teaching in, think of yourself as a radio transmitter. You're transmitting. If you're in worry, you're transmitting worry, that will attract more worry. If you're in fear, you're transmitting fear, that will attract more fear. Because this universe is a vibrational universe. Whatever you send out, it's reflected back to you for your own lessons, your own growing, your own path of mastery. So if you're constantly exuding joy, and like for us, we didn't have a deck, we don't have any nature here, because I sacrificed my highest vision of wanting to be in a dream home for my son and moved into this neighborhood, which has no nature. And my guides said this was our training ground. They said, okay, what can you do about it? So we actually invested, we built this little deck, we bought this beautiful daybed a few months ago, like 6 months ago. We put some artificial grass here. So we have taken matters under our own hands. And that's what they're saying. When you take matters under your own hands and you keep yourself in a state of joy, even if you have to drive 20 minutes to a park to lie under the tree, guess what? You're masters. And now the universe is ready to match you with your dreams and aspirations.
That's a very good point, Eldora. Because
thank you, baby. He never compliments me so formally. Thank you, Siman.
I usually do that
It's
only
noted.
on videos. But I'm saying that's a very good point more for you guys because the way this works.
You never call me Eldora, by the way. It's okay, continue.
Yeah, so the way this works. Okay, now I lost my train of thought.
Wait, what works? It's fine, you'll get another thought. You want to talk about the starseed contract a bit?
You start on it.
So to wrap up the timeline topic, and this may bring back your memory, to wrap up the timeline message that your guides, the spirit wants us all to know, we're translating it for you because some of you may be able to translate it and some of you may be looking at all of this as coincidences. Right now, because of the Lionsgate portal and the galactic new year, because of the astrological configuration right now of the planet, you are actually in the driver's seat of manifesting your new timelines. And for that to happen, you have to have sealed and tied up your 3D timelines. If you're still 1 foot in, 1 foot out, saying, I'll kind of move towards New Earth in 5D and Nasara, Jasara, and abundance and all of that, but I'm still going to message my old boyfriends even though I don't care. If you still are vibrating lack of self-worth or lack of confidence or lack of all of these things, you're still stuck in your 3D programs. So the faster you get out, I want you to know that your new timelines are being created right now.
Exactly. And the point that I forgot earlier was that you have to present your vibration first for the manifestation to occur. So, for example, if you wish to manifest a beautiful relationship, then you have to be in a good relationship with yourself and you have to be in a position of love and self-care to manifest that relationship. So the universe is going to bring into your reality what you already exude vibrationally. So that's something we all can keep as a reminder.
And thoughts, just to talk about thoughts, some of you know this, some of you know it and you still forget about it. It happens to the best of us. Your thoughts are transmitting through your radio frequency. You're literally transmitting through your thoughts. So if you're constantly thinking, oh man, I hate this life, oh man, when is it going to be New Earth, poor me, if you're constantly vibrating victim consciousness and not joy, your reality is going to reflect that to you. So be very mindful of your thoughts. Don't feel like when we came back to Toronto, I'll give you a very tangible example. When we came back from our 2-week trip to Montreal and Quebec City and Mont Tremblant, which is very light vibrationally compared to especially our neighborhood, which is so dense. I walked into the house, I was fine the first day, and the second day I was like, oh crap, I can't breathe here. And it was just, I had to use my mastery to get back, which took me minutes because all you have to do is recognize it and say, okay, do I want to be a whiner or do I want to focus on all the good stuff the universe has given me? Look at my life. So I had to just talk myself out of this victim consciousness of, I hate it here, which I often feel in this dense neighborhood, and switch to what can I do to change that. So in our case, it was yesterday, we booked a 2-hour massage each, and after the massage, we went to our favorite park and lay under the maple tree till like 11 p.m. until mosquitoes started biting us, and instantly we felt good. Then today, we just stayed in. We had our old housekeeper who was super scared to come back after COVID. Out of the blue, I messaged her and I said, Linda, are you ready to come back? I would love it if you came help me with something tomorrow. And she came today, which was amazing. And we're making the video. So it's very easy to get out of that negative rut into a positive rut. And that is the ABC of your self-mastery. The ABC, it's kindergarten, guys. So start with kindergarten, because once you pass the kindergarten lessons, it doesn't mean they're kindergarten does not mean they're basic
Irrelevant.
lessons.
Yeah.
You know what it means? They are so important that you cannot graduate until you master this very basic lesson that to you it's not that hard. You just have to be super cognizant about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I keep reminding ourselves that keeping yourself in a positive vibration is a full-time job, guys. So I know things are very charged up energetically right now on planet Earth, and we're all going through the ringer. So right now, it also brings us to the next point of the starseed contract and how starseeds are here on planet Earth to hold a very high vibration amidst all odds. So we all signed up for this. We all came to Earth from higher realms, from distant planets, from distant galaxies, where we all had to leave our families of light. And it took a huge sacrifice for all of us to leave the comfort of our homes. It was literally like coming down from heaven into a hell, because Earth, from any objective standpoint, you could say, looks like hell right now. And for us, it was the ultimate sacrifice, but we all came here because of love, because of family. We all answered the call to be here for humanity in one of the most challenging, yet one of the most historical and glorious moments in history.
Exciting AF.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the time we all came here for. We've trained many lifetimes to be here. This is the starseed contract that we all came here. We all took the contract upon ourselves to be a part of humanity, to go through all the painful experiences. We've gone through torture, rape, murder, you name it. And we've not always been the victim, we've been the perpetrator. And that was all part of our contract in order for us to really blend in with humanity and show them that we the galactics, the starseeds, the ones who came here to create this shift, we came here with a purpose, and we're not just playing along. We're not just playing along with the story, with a theoretical story. We're rolling up our sleeves and getting our hands dirty. We're going through all the worst of the worst experiences that Earth has to offer.
And not just in this lifetime.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you just
this,
came. Yeah, explain
We've been
that.
through this through many lifetimes. We've been through many epochs of time. And know that from a soul's perspective, they can insert themselves into one epoch of time in one lifetime in Lemuria, then they can plan another lifetime in Atlantis, then another one in ancient Egypt, one could be in the biblical times of Christ, and then you could come here. You may not even have been on Earth for a very long time.
Babe, a very important point here is about how this is very urgent and very important from the guides' perspectives. This is actually the main message, one of the main messages after the timelines, is about how right now, let's say 10% of Earth is awakened. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
We need to reach a critical mass of at least 50% before we can get to the next step. 50%.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
what can we, let's talk about what can light workers do. I really want to take people into really stepping up, because one of the things I really find a lot of people struggle with is sharing their truth. Like, you know about the pedophilia, you know about the satanic abuse, you know about Hillary and Bush and the Obama administration, you know about Pizzagate, you know about Pedogate, you know all the stuff that's going on. But you can't, like, there's a lot of people who don't have the guts, who don't have the nerves to share it on social media because they know they'll be attacked.
Yeah.
Right now, I've always taught not doing it if you're not ready. I've always taught that. But guys, right now, there's a little bit of an urgency involved. So what I want us to do is provide some guidelines on how, like, I'll share mine, you share yours. I'll tell you guys, when I share the truth, I don't share it with a nagging or preaching. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. One of the tips that helped me, because initially when I started my Eldora Rose page, I had a lot of people like try to trash me down and bring me down with their negativity. So the first of all, the important thing was I never tried to respond to them. This is very important. Never look at a negative comment and say, let me try to change this person's belief, because you're talking to their ego. It's not going to happen. You're not the teacher for them. This is very important. You're not the teacher for them, and that's, the more you go into trying to change them, you're actually opening up a very dark portal for yourself, and then you're stuck in that energy of darkness and negativity. Instead, focus on people who get you. Just keep sharing what you know as the truth, and then be unwavering about it. If you feel it's the truth, be unapologetically, be unwavering. You're a starseed. You're here to do this. You're here to help with this. So don't feel like, oh my God, I don't know if I should share it or not. Because that's kind of being like, it may sound harsh, but it's like kind of like being like not having the balls to be this way or that way. What's the point of living that way? Either be this way and say, I'm just going to lock myself up and shut up and not say anything and let the other starseeds do their work. Or say, I'm a fucking starseed. I'm here. I have trained for this. I know what needs to be done. I got this. Bring out your lioness. Bring out your lion roar. This is not the time to play nice and be politically correct and just, say okay to everything your family tells you. No, it's not about your family. Your family, I'm so sorry to say this harshly, is irrelevant in the ascension plan. Right now, there are people waiting to learn from you. They're not your family. There are people waiting to learn from you. How do you know? When you start posting on your Facebook, on your social media, you start telling people, who knows who's going to awaken because of you? Yeah. I didn't know that so many people would awaken because of me. All I did was I kept sharing my truth. What is the biggest advice
I always
you
tell
have?
people to stand for what you believe in, and I don't know one truth sharer or one light warrior who's not lost a family friend or fallen off with a close friend. These things happen, and these are not reasons that we should back down and make our energy small. This is not a time to be complacent. Like I've said in many videos before this is a time for us to really put all that we've learned in our training so far, put it into action, stand for what you believe in, speak your truth, share your truth unapologetically. And this does not mean that we trample on other people's toes.
Or boundaries or belief systems.
We're not here to shove the truth down other people's throat.
Yes.
However, we are here to provide our perspectives, whatever resonates in your heart as truth. Follow that intuition, and don't doubt your intuition, because it is very important that you start feeling the vibration of every piece of information in your heart. And when it vibrates as truth, then stand by it and express your truth. And tomorrow, if you find something else that contradicts something you believed in your heart previously, then you can be open to changing
Absolutely.
your point of view.
Yes.
So be like water, don't be like stone.
Be fluid. Religion makes us so rigid because religion has the tempered religion, I'm talking about the religion that's been tempered by mankind, has a set rules, and spirituality, our ascension path, is very fluid. Your truth can change every second. It can change every day. What is your truth today? Stand by it. Don't be preachy, but most importantly, have the vibration of love. And if someone disrespects you, know that it's got everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. What's your job is to make sure you don't disrespect someone else in an argument, that you control your energy field. If someone calls you if someone trash talks you, you can either respectfully block them or you can respectfully ignore them based on, but for me, if someone trash talks me on my Facebook, why would I want to have them in my life? I don't care who they are. If they are someone who doesn't have the basic sense of respect for me, why are they in my world? So really, really, really question your belief systems. Question who is in your reality. Whoever's in your reality right now, are they uplifting you? Think about it. You're in my world right now. Am I uplifting you? Is Saman uplifting you? I'm assuming the answer is yes. Now let me ask you about your friends. Whoever you hang out with, name 10 people that are in your circle. Do they uplift you or do they weigh you down? Do they encourage you or do they judge you? Do they condemn you? And if they condemn you, they judge you, what are you holding on for? What are these human traits that make us humans hold on?
Exactly. And one other very important point for us to always remember is that we are not here to wake other people up. That is not our job. Waking people up is Spirit's job. People will wake up when they're ready. No matter what you do, if you give them a whole documentary or if you recite everything you know in front of them, they will not wake up because of what you're telling them. They will only wake up when their soul is ready, and that is up to them and their God, their creator. So our job is to simply share the truth and not hold back.
Yes.
Because right now it is very important for all of humanity to wake up. But what we're seeing is that there's a handful of truth sharers. There's a less than 1% of people who actually know what's happening. Then there's about 8 to 9% of people who are following that 1% and are waking up to the truth, and they're figuring things out. They're putting pieces of the puzzle together. But that 8 and 9% needs to start a chain reaction, and we need to see more leaders. We need to see more people who stand for what they believe in and are not afraid to share their truth. And that will create a chain effect that will raise the vibration of humanity.
And change your life.
Change your life for the
If you're
better.
bottling up energy inside of you and you're not sharing information, you're not channeling information, you're not sharing your downloads, you're just holding it inside because you just don't take any initiative. You don't have the onus to share. Like, let's say you're bottling it up. Higher guidance cannot flow in through you because you're stuck up. It's like being constipated energetically. This is an energetic constipation. So be a free channel. Freely channel energy. Receive, share, receive, speak, receive, stand in your column of power. That's when you get higher guidance. If not, you're constipated, you're locked up, you're clogged up.
And another very important lesson that was shared with us by our guides when we first started on this path of YouTube is that share knowledge freely. Don't hold back important pieces of information because you think you can profit off it by selling it to people in a course. Share knowledge freely because in the fifth dimension, everything is available for free. And knowledge is not something we hold on to and make it our own. And copyrights and all of these things, they're bullshit. They're
which is why
things of the past.
Which is why a lot of really even advanced spiritual teachers who are wonderful people, they're much older in their age. Like I know some personally, they're following what was part of the old age. They charge for everything and you have to wait until they release a course. And right now our guides are saying, and in back then we thought we would start a mystery school. That was a mystery school. Like we wanted to start a mystery school where we taught everything and we had people come in and attend it like school. But our guides are like, that's going to hold us back. Share freely because you don't need to charge people for this information. Right now the awakening is on us. Share freely and the universe has your back. So we're right now just channeling energy so freely and the universe is taking care of us financially, and this is a huge jump that a lot of spiritual teachers and coaches have to make.
And I also wanted to clarify one very important point here. This is not to say that money is evil or there's any problem with charging for your services.
Yes.
Because if you are a healer, if you are a practitioner of any kind, if you're a channeler, a psychic, you by all means deserve to charge for your time.
And I'll add one more sentence. We do not believe even in undercharging.
Yeah.
Seriously, like my cleaner wants $20 an hour, I pay her $25 because to me, because she doesn't value herself, I can't support that. I cannot. Yesterday we went if I go for a massage and they charge, I pay them what I think that was worth for me. So right now, money, oh my God, that's such a big teaching.
Know your
People
worth.
Know your worth. If you want to charge $250 an hour because that's what you want to charge, there's no condemning that. And I know that triggers a lot of people. If you're getting triggered by that, please know that I love you. I will not teach anything that I don't believe to be the highest blueprint. I'm not here to teach you 4D stuff. That's not my contract. I'm here to teach you 5D stuff. And in 5D, money won't exist. But right now, if you haven't learned the basic lessons of money, abundance, not having money blocks, that is what you're being asked to get over. It's not about, oh my God, there won't be money in 5D. There won't. But you need to master your money lessons right now. Like abundance lessons have to be mastered. The lessons are not going anywhere. So if you have a problem charging a certain amount, and I can tell you, every time you charge a certain amount, you will attract the kind of people who pay you that amount. Your clientele may change. So if you were charging, let's say $150 an hour, and now you're charging $250 an hour because you feel that's paying you for your time. And don't forget, you're doing this work. You're channeling energy. You're being a healer. You're being a teacher. Whatever you are, you're doing all of this, but it's taking up your time. So why are people like so caught up in not wanting to charge for their money? Charge freely, but don't hold information back. Like if you're seeing clients, it's fine, you can charge them and everything. But let's say somebody asks you something, or you have the option to share freely, do both. Share, 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 and the clients, trust me, will multiply. That's the funny part. The more you share freely, you might think, oh, if I share all these tips, no, my clients will stop seeing me. No, your clients will multiply, it'll quadruple.
Exactly. And money is fourth dimensional. When you go into the fifth dimensional state of being, we're teaching you the next level in manifestation. That's when all of your abundance blocks dissolve and your abundance comes directly from source, from prime creator. Then you're not even dealing with people anymore. In the fifth dimension, money doesn't even exist. And we're living examples of that, where all of our needs are taken care of by the universe. And you guys will not even logically comprehend how we may go into that story on a different note. But it's like we're dealing directly with our prime creator. We do not depend on any human being to provide our sustenance. And the secret to that is because we've opened up our hearts and we've made a soul level commitment to serve humanity. That gives us so much joy that it has opened up all the gates of abundance into our life.
I know you were very humble in saying that, but I'll add one more statement. Because right now, humility does not need... We have been way too humble all our lives. We starseeds, we light workers, we've always been so humble. I'll state it. When you align your intention to purely serve people, when you do that, you're on God's payroll. I've said this to you before. It has to come from intention. When you start aligning to genuinely helping humanity, when you align to genuinely protecting Gaia, when you actually activate yourself into giving back and helping others, for us it actually happened when Divine Mother, he was giving me a healing 4 years ago, and Divine Mother channeled through him, and she said, I don't know the exact words, but basically the message was, for me, it was, you're now going to be given a role of power. And it was almost like just...
it was a divine power bestowed upon you.
It was exactly, I love how
from
you said
Divine Mother.
It was a divine power bestowed upon me by Divine Mother, and I gave Divine Mother that promise that I will never abuse that power. And once you prove that you're in your integrity, your powers will just blow up. And for you, it was, I forgot, what was I going to say about that? About the divine powers, it'll come back. It was something around that, but it'll come back. Yeah. So we don't have to be humble, and a lot of people, like in spirituality, they judge power, they judge money, they judge people standing in their power. But I'm here to tell you that everybody who's behaving a certain way to act spiritual, if they're in their inauthenticity, that's actually coming in the way of their spirituality. So the most powerful people are the ones that don't have to prove shit. They don't have to prove shit, because who they are, the energy that comes out of them, that's the important part. And that's why my highest joy is to provide these high blueprints, because in spirituality, a lot of this stuff is so freaking mistaken. If somebody drives an expensive car, there's judgment. Let me tell you this. The spiritual leaders in the world, all spiritual leaders that I know of in the world, are multi-millionaires. And I can attest to that. We have learned how to respect money. We have learned how to... Money doesn't faze us. We have learned the lessons around money. So millions are in our aura, in our everyday lives. We're like multi-millionaires. Some spiritual teachers may not show it, because they are so worried about getting judged, because money has been something that has been, it's so
we've been reverse engineered, and all of these teachings have been brainwashed into us so that we think of money as evil.
Exactly.
And that's why the power has been cut off from light workers so far, by having us believe the thought that money is evil, and therefore we reject money. But money is just a tool. It's nothing more, nothing less. This society has gone backwards to a state where we worship money and place it above all else. And it's almost like money is God right now for many people. It's their only reason for survival. But that's not the case. Money is just a tool, just how your car is a tool. If you begin to heal your relationship with money, and you begin to be in harmony and you respect money, send love and respect and gratitude for every single transaction that you perform on a daily basis. If you're buying a coffee for $1, send gratitude to the universe. You're doing a transaction to buy your house or a car, send gratitude. And always be in the state of gratitude, because that is truly the key to opening up your abundance.
Yes.
And you will not get to point A from point A to point Z automatically. In the first few years of our awakening, we had to focus on ourselves. So initially in your spiritual journey, when you're just beginning to wake up, don't jump to serve humanity or serve Mother Earth. You gotta start by healing yourself, because when you really work on yourself and your own inner wounds, that's what's most important. So self-love is step one. And then when you're fully healed, when you're fully like feeling whole and you're feeling like your cup is full and it's overflowing with so much love, then that love automatically starts sprouting outwards from your heart too. And you have so much to give that you ask, where can I give more? Where can I give more? It comes from within. So don't jump ahead. Work on yourself and give yourself what you need first.
Absolutely. And one real quick note on that is 3D relationship. A 3D relationship to money is not what we're talking about. So it's not about, like, my ex-husband was a huge spender. He just loved to spend. There was something about him. He always wanted to buy me diamonds. He always wanted to, he had this vision of me driving a luxury SUV just so he could feel good about himself. He had this, that, you know, his wife drives a luxury SUV. It was all like programs. So we're not talking about programs of the ego where we start hoarding. The two of us, we spend our money on experiences, not objects. We don't care about the Louis Vuittons. I mean, I have all of that upstairs, but I don't use it. I'd rather have a beautiful bag that's made by an artist that's unique. In my 3D days, I loved the Louis Vuittons. I loved my Pradas. I loved all that. But now, ever since I've woken up, all of that stuff is meaningless to me. In fact, it's like 10,000 people in my city, like in my neighborhood, are carrying the same bag. It's ugly. But if an artist made me a beautiful bag... And,
I actually gifted her a school bag for her birthday.
A school
and it
bag.
is so cute. It looks like a Dora school bag. And she's been carrying it around non-stop. It is so adorable because that bag has more meaning to her than any designer brand could. So she's not kidding
He
about
calls me
that.
Dora the Explorer. I put it on my
She's so
backpack
adorable
and I
with
take
that.
it everywhere. And I'm not embarrassed by
So
it. In my
objects
3D days, I would never ever do it. Because
I know.
before my awakening, I'd be so embarrassed if anyone presented me that. I'm like, I can't do that. Because my self-worth was attached to me holding a $5,000 bag. Right now, I am oozing confidence and self-worth. I don't need anything to accessorize me. I can walk in my PJs and still emit the light that I want to emit. So it's about making that transition and knowing who you are.
And objects take a different meaning once you wake up. You can look at a diamond as a rock. We were just having that discussion the other day. And you can look at a Maserati and say, why would anybody buy that car?
Exactly.
I just need a car with these and
like
features.
when we went to Maserati, we were appalled. There was something about the vibration
Yeah, it has
in that
a very
store.
like cabal kind of
We
vibration.
walked in and we were like, okay, it's about, he said it's about this much a month. We're like, all right. And we're like, why doesn't this feel right in our soul? It just didn't feel right. It's not because we have money blocks. We have no money blocks. But we were like, this doesn't fit in with our, and we want something, we don't want like this pristine, it's just a very, it's energetic. I can't explain it.
It kind of works backwards, that once you get everything,
Yes.
once you have everything, you want to just lead a minimal life. So right now,
Yes.
our main objective is about decluttering. In the old 3D paradigm, it was about
Acquiring.
possessions
Yes.
and hoarding and like collecting, and things don't even have meaning. And you suddenly realize that whatever is not giving your soul joy is just becoming a weight and an anchor around you. And you cannot stand to have any energetic anchor around you when you're awoke.
And what I love about us, babe, is we don't even flinch when we spend on something that gives us joy and helps us raise our vibration. We don't flinch. Our only question is, does that give us joy and help raise our vibration? If yes, we don't care about money. But if it's something for materialistic joy, we don't need it. We don't want it. It's just a different way of looking at money. So when you talk about money, it goes deep. There's the 3D attachment to ego money, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about mastering your lessons on your path of mastery, on learning how money works. Money is just energy. And if you're blocking this energy of money, what else are you blocking in your life? So my abundance meditation, guys, is I honestly think it really reprograms you when you think about money. When you do it, so highly recommend. Go to the channel that we're on right now and look for abundance guided meditation. I did that when I was in Thailand a few months ago. It'll start reprogramming you, and I've had a lot of success stories with that meditation.
Yeah, sounds good.
On that note,
anything else?
No, I think we can stop here. You want to talk about that fall in the next video?
Yeah, I think it's been going on for a while, so let's explain it when we have some more time.
All right. So until next time, my friends, what else has been happening in the last week, like in our world?
Yeah, it's just been about, we've been just going through this life review of everything that's been taking place in our life in the past year, and just been shown all the 3D loops are like closing. It's like
they have closed.
Energetically, all the doors are shutting off to the whole world.
And we've been through so much. Like literally the friends that were so close to us and who are now bitching about us. Everything was shown to us just before it was closed. It was so painful just before we did that activation, because we saw our friends bitching about us in public sites. We saw people we've helped. Like he built a website for this guy, and this guy is bitching saying, "Oh, Simandra, who does he think he is?" And we're just appalled at the lack of gratitude, and it caused so much pain within us. Family, your mother, your brother, your son, like his parents, his family, we've been through so much that finally, after 1 year of, not 1 year, 4 years of suffering and struggling, but you see, that was just us learning our soul lesson. These relationships have made us who we are, because we've understood more about human psychology now. But once that's all done, guys, we're finally at a stage where the timeline has been closed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so excited for you guys, because anytime now you can be there if you're not already. Your timelines are closing, 3D timelines are closing, 5D timelines are opening.
And
so get rid of the resistance.
If you're going through the ringer right now, this is your training ground. So honor that as well, and know that these are the lessons that you're going to take with you to New Earth, and they're priceless, guys. So give it everything you've got. You're not a victim. You're a very strong person.
Yes.
And you have no idea how strong you are, because you are just being birthed. You have not even begun to experience the beauty that awaits you in your life.
On that note, have yourselves an amazing, what is it today, Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday? Okay, well, I think tomorrow is a long weekend for some of you. So enjoy Monday, depending on when we upload. We might upload it tomorrow. And sending you guys so much love. I hope this was helpful. I think it was great. It just flowed so, easy. So much love, you guys.
We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.